Pierce, Florida, a city whose name lingers in the memory of thousands of sports fishermen and a name tall in the dreams of thousands of fishermen to come. This is Mecca to those who would go down to the sea for sails. Located on the lower east coast of Florida, Fort Pierce is just a short run from the Atlantic Ocean and the deep blue Gulf Stream. Each year, the city enjoys a rare phenomenon in her offshore waters that occurs nowhere else: massive concentrations of schooling sailfish. The municipal yacht basin is the meeting place for yachtsmen, fishermen, and curious sightseers. It is the embarkation point for the charter fleet and for experienced skippers, such as Captain Cy Thomas of the Lady Anne, George Archer, veteran skipper of the Victory II, and Walter Puggs Ergel of the port of Fort Pierce. These men supply the know-how for beginners. Their boats are fully equipped. All that any party needs when it steps aboard is enthusiasm and the muscle power necessary to handle the frantic fighting of the mighty billfish. Let's get in on some of this excitement and join Captain Ergel and his party as they set out for the Atlantic in search of adventure with the sailfish. The fishing grounds are only an hour or so from the dock through the ship channel, which incidentally is a fine place to catch tarpon. Past beautiful Fort Pierce Beach, one of the best on Florida's east coast, and into the mighty Atlantic Ocean. To the fishing area, a good supply of fresh bait is prepared from fish known as mullet. The section of the backbone is first removed to make him wiggle naturally when trolled through the water. The hook is run through the underside to hide it from the keen eyes of our quarry. And a 10-foot steel wire leader is worked through the nose of the mullet, up through the eye of the hook, and out the top. The leader is first twisted and then wrapped to provide a slip-proof splice. And the final product is ready to go swimming. In sailfish territory, our skipper keeps a watchful eye for flocks of gulls bunched close to the water, a sign the sailfish are feeding underneath. No birds yet, so the skipper slows to trolling speed and puts lines on the outriggers. The bait is designed to look like an escaping fish, skipping and diving frantically over the surface. A hungry sailfish charges in, gives it a whack with his bill, and knocks the line from the outrigger. As the mullet sinks like a stunned fish, the sail turns around, picks him up, and leisurely starts to swallow. But don't set the hook yet. Leave the reel and free spool and count to 10 slowly. This gives the sail time to pick up the bait. Then the star drag is set, the hook is set, and the fight is on. He's mad and wants to spit out that hook. Sometimes he wraps up the leader or somersaults into the line. And when that happens, the line breaks. Well, tough luck, but there's no time for fretting. For the flock of gulls, that means lots of feeding sailfish right under them. Captain Puggs radios the rest of the fleet and pinpoints the school. There may be several hundred sails in the immediate area, meaning plenty of adventure for all. Schooling sailfish bring boats from miles around, some from as far away as Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. The sails feed for some time on the surface, then sound, only to reappear a short distance away. There's one now. See his bill behind the bait? There, he knocks the bait, makes a pass, and he strikes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She sets the hook, and the battle begins. A sailfish does everything he can to throw the hook, so she must keep the line tight. She holds on when he's running and reels like mad when he's coming. Give him slack line and he's gone. He often takes more than 100 yards of line on the first run and fights a standoff battle until he can't lift his head out of the water. And grabs the sail's bill with the other. A hearty heave, and he's in the boat. Skipper Urgel hoists flags on the outriggers to testify to the progress of the day's fishing. The fishermen are really busy now. Captain Archer is bringing one aboard the Victory, too. The birds are busy, too, and promise more excitement as they circle the feeding fish. Even when the school has sounded, a close watch is kept on the baits. A sailfish can come from out of nowhere. This one means business. Well, back to work. Hold on, Skipper. A stubborn fish, but he's ours now. This fellow fought so hard he tore his sail in the effort. Ah, now there's a cool fisherman. 2 fine billfish aboard. One will be mounted to decorate a den in memory of an exciting day at sea. The other will be smoked and relished as a table delicacy. In waters like these, it's no trick to catch one of the treasured blue water fighters. In fact, our day's catch eventually totals 3 more, all released. Here's our friend back again. But 5 sails are enough for one day, so let's go home. The return trip is always shorter when filled with battles fought in retrospect. And escorted by a playful school of porpoise. Like every other sail fisherman, though, we've got the bug now. We'll be back. With sport like that, how could you stay away?